Yo, what up?
This morning, as lawmakers prepare to view the Department of Justice's unredacted files on Jeffrey Epstein, new questions about Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick's relationship with the deceased convicted sex offender.
So I was never in the room with him socially, for business, or for even philanthropy. If that guy was there, I wasn't going because he's gross.
Just months ago, Lutnick, who lived next door to Epstein for more than a decade,
That's my story. A one and absolutely done.
after a visit to Epstein's home, describing him as gross.
I say to him, massage table in the middle of your house? How often you have a massage?
But part of the 3 million pages of newly released DOJ files show Lutnick and Epstein remained in contact well past 2005, as recently as 2018. One email with Epstein's schedule for May 1st, 2011, showing plans for drinks with Lutnick. And in December 2012, other documents showing Lutnick and his family plan to visit Epstein's private island. At the end of that month, the two both investing in the same business, their signatures seen here on legal documents. Some of these interactions with Lutnick coming years after Epstein first pled guilty to sex crimes in 2008. And this morning, several lawmakers calling for Lutnick to step down, including Republican Congressman Thomas Massey, the architect of the law compelling the release of the files.
He's got a lot to answer for, but
They're all liars. Who was first? It was Red Panda. Red Panda was first. Leon's Home Furniture calling me at fucking 8 at night. Fucking retarded.
really, he should make life easier on the president, frankly, and just resign.
Overnight,
we're standing together.
Standing together.
multiple Epstein survivors appearing in a new PSA, calling for more transparency, saying millions of files still haven't been released. The DOJ saying any files withheld or redactions were to comply with exceptions in the law, not to
VG, I am so fucking glad Epstein is gone.
Well, unfortunately, with him gone, he can't rat on anybody, so I actually wish he didn't kill himself. Thanks for the donation, though, Dodo.
compromise ongoing investigations or
die,
violate
who
victims'
knows, could be
privacy.
murdered.
Also in the newly released trove of records, email showing the role Epstein's now convicted co-conspirator Ghislaine Maxwell played in supporting former President Bill Clinton's
And now she's fucking pleading the fifth.
Foundation and the launch of the Clinton Global Initiative, a conference for business and global leaders. According to emails from 2004, Maxwell helped in the planning and funding of its inaugural event. The former president has said he had no knowledge of Maxwell.
Speed Racer, donate $3. Let me see. Oh. Oh, that is nice. Oh, that's a beaver having a snack. Oh, beavers love getting snacks. They love lettuce. Look at that little boy grabbing with his hands the lettuce and then eating it. Oh, that is a handsome beaver. What a sweet boy. Oh my goodness. That is so good. Thanks for the donation, Speed Racer. You should check for radon gas in that basement. You might be in a high-risk area. You know, people who die from radon are just pussies.
Maxwell or Epstein's crimes and his push for the DOJ to release all files.
In a statement to ABC News, Secretary Lutnick's office maintaining that he had, quote, very limited interactions with Epstein. Meantime, up here on Capitol Hill today, Ghislaine Maxwell will testify virtually from prison behind closed doors, not in a public setting, to the House Oversight Committee. Members of that panel expect her to plead the fifth to every question, George.
Right, she did not plead the fifth when she talked to the Justice Department. Okay, thanks very much, Jade.
It's official. I'm competing at the steroid... No. It's official. I'm competing at the Enhanced Games and taking on Hafthor Bjornsson one-on-one in a max deadlift. Ends.
You're gonna lose. Hafthor's better than you. You're a jackass. Get fucked.
This isn't what you think it is. So the Enhanced Games really isn't just about jamming people full of enhancements. It's actually medically super.
Spec King of the Children, VG.
So Jason Bateman has a podcast with Sean Hayes and Will Arnett called Smartless. And I have no idea why, but, 2 years after the Brat Summer trend, they're interviewing Charlie XCX. They finally got around to it. And he decided to bring up an uncomfortable subject for her, which is family, because she does not have any kids. And apparently, his producers failed to provide him with a sheet of bullet points about Charlie XCX. Obviously, we wouldn't expect Jason Bateman, of all people, to be educated on the subject of Charlie XCX and Brat Summer. But, he just went in blind with this interview and asked her.
I think that's actually why people get so annoyed when celebrities pretend to be hip or pretend to be up on whatever the current thing is. Because that if they're doing it on like a live show, some poor intern had to type up a bunch of bullet points and then bring it to them so that they could. Who is the politician that was doing like a Zoom interview and they're like, what's your favorite?
On having multiple kids, because I think they were relating on the subject of both being only children and the dynamic.
I don't know who any of those people are. Thanks for the donation though, Dodo.
You sound well rested. What you eat? I had a radon mitigation system installed.
Yeah, I'm fairly well rested. I am eating rice, lentil dal, Gardein, and a Gardein chicken with some Korean bulgogi sauce. Thanks for the donation, James.
Supervising. I'm in New York City for a reason, and the reason isn't because I like it here, it's for something else. And let's get into that, and let's get into what the enhanced games actually are. But let's head into a coffee shop, get warm, and have a chat. Now, the enhanced games really aren't what you think they are. The media story of steroid Olympics is only half true.
I have a bit of a skewed view.
Weightlifting, and basically allowing them to take what they would like to be at their best.
I mean, it's difficult, right? I'm not gonna say that I agree or don't, because
I'm a gay faggot. Drugs bad.
I am also for science. Like, I think, I work out too, so I try to be as natural as possible.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? But I also know a lot of guys that are not. So to me, it's just kind of like, I don't know. It's
Jason Bateman was the voice of Nick Wilde in Zootopia.
Okay. I didn't know he had like a random podcast and shit. Thanks for the donation, Dodo.
It's a interesting topic. I can't judge that, man. I mean, I think it's dope. We're going to see athletes breaking records that we've never seen before, right? As long as
of a doctor, we'll see what's the good, the bad, the life. Again, medically supervised and medically prescribed. So I'm off to Mount Sinai, and that's why I've come to New York. Not to interview, not to freeze my ass off, not to just talk to people. Why the hell a medical professional is getting involved in this? Because of course, am I going to pull the world record?
Nope. Thor's gonna be stronger than him. We all know that.
Week, the Department of Justice finally got around to releasing over 3 million pages of records related to their Jeffrey Epstein investigations. This massive data dump, which includes everything from emails to vacation photos, was intended to be the final word on a scandal that has lingered over the global establishment like a particularly persistent bad smell. The file read like a who's who of the people who run the world. We have 2 US presidents, a rotating cast of British and European royals, and almost every significant name in business, law, and high finance. Many people who claimed that they only had tangential relations.
If the first humans were black, does that mean Adam and Eve were black?
Yeah, I guess. Thanks for the donation, Speed Racer.
They both bloated. Pedus?
Yeah, obviously, and they're just fatter. Thanks for the donation, James.
Relationships with Epstein were shown to be a lot closer than they had admitted. It would appear that the tech elites had to invent AI chatbots to replace Epstein, but while he was alive, he seems to have been the person they turned to get their questions answered. The release of these documents was once again a total mess. It's worth noting that unlike Jeffrey Epstein's parties, to open the files you had to confirm that you were over the age of 18. On the first day of the release, the DOJ website featured a convenient download all button that allowed journalists to grab the entire data set all at once. Once the department realized that people were actually using it, that button was removed, replaced by a system that requires you to download files one by one. Files have been appearing and disappearing. If you read a document and didn't save it, there was a good chance that when you went back later, it would be gone. A document known as EFTA 0166067, which contained a list of unverified FBI tips about the US president, briefly became the most famous PDF on the internet before it was scrubbed from the site the next morning. As of this recording, it has not been re-uploaded. The DOJ later explained that they were rectifying redaction errors, so maybe it'll reappear soon. The first big scandal to break was about Bill Gates, where we learned about—
Seriously though, VG, why do so many people judge others just for not wanting kids? It's honestly creepy to obsess over people you don't even know not having children.
Probably because they're all gay. Thanks for the donation, Dodo. Do you buy the big Guardian bags? I haven't seen any big Guardian bags.
About a more practical side to his relationship with Epstein. In two frantic typo-ridden emails that Epstein sent to his own inbox in 2013, he appeared to suggest that Mr. Gates contracted an STD from Russian girls and asked Jeffrey to get him antibiotics so that he could secretly give them to his then-wife Melinda. Epstein also claimed to have provided adult—
Can we maybe react to some ments? Del Rey Misfits Memorial Day chest workout.
What are you? You're in the fucking Jason Toenail Club now? You nasty son of a bitch.
Overlook that shit.
Your stomach's gotten smaller. You can fucking clip it now. Look at you.
What is with them and not clipping their toenails? It's so weird.
Frank uploaded a new short.
All right, let me take a look, James. Yes. So he's losing the lawsuit and he's upset.
This is David D. Lynn Esquire, a lawyer from Brooklyn, New York, that should be disbarred for his fraud, perjury, and tortious interference. And tortious interference is basically where you ruin someone's life. You're not allowed to, like, if you ruin someone's life in a lawsuit, like the lawsuit.
So, in case none of you know about this, basically Frank Tufano is getting sued by Paul Saladino for essentially just accusing him of being a child rapist. Frank Tufano put his mother and father's home address, which he lived with his mom and dad back in New York, as his business address. So obviously, since that's listed as his business address, and Paul Saladino's lawyer is suing Frank and his business, since Frank both lived there and that was his listed business address, he sent legal documents to Frank at his mom's house where he lived and where his business address is. Then Frank claimed this guy did that deliberately to upset his family so that they would kick him out. So basically, Frank's a fucking moron. He was living with mommy and daddy. He put that as his business address, and he's upset a lawyer sent him mail to the proper address.
It gets canceled. You're not allowed to interfere with someone's personal life, which he did by subpoenaing my parents in a case for documents that they were not involved with. And my mother...
Oh, yeah, and he also listed his mom as, like, somebody within his company.
Who had a double kidney transplant, was very unwell. My father, who wasn't mentally well either. You know, this court involvement caused an immense amount of physical and emotional stress on them, ultimately leading to me being kicked out of my childhood home. And I haven't spoken to my parents since this happened years ago. So these evil lunatics get to go home to their families every single day without any repercussions.
Buddy, you're an adult man and you're crying that you can't see your mommy and daddy?
While my life is still ruined and destroyed.
So this court case isn't going well and he's pissed off about it. That's why he's uploading these.
Some of you may know Paul Saladino as a nutrition influencer, but this man is pure evil and has destroyed my life over these past 6 years. He got my business in New York shut down. He got me kicked out of my lifelong childhood home.
He did not get his business in New York shut down.
I lived with my parents since I was almost 30. He literally got me kicked out of my house.
I was 30 years old living with mommy and daddy, and then they didn't want me to live with them anymore. It's Paul Saladino's fault. Does he not realize how gay he sounds?
And he continues to target and harass me through this corrupt court system for these past 5 years. And one of the most selfish and degrading things he might have done is attempting to steal $30,000 from blind and disabled individuals. So I took out
Oh boy, this is not a good idea to say publicly when you're getting sued. This is insane. So Frank's basically saying Paul is trying to steal from blind and disabled individuals because he's suing me for me calling him a child rapist, and I was going to use the money that I had to donate to blind people, but now because Paul's suing me, I can't do that because I can't afford it. So Paul wants kids to be blind.
A line of credit to donate money to blind and disabled people. And less than a week later, his lawyer wrote a letter to the court explaining, Frank has enough money to donate to blind and disabled people, so it should actually go to Paul. It's Paul's money, which is absolute insanity considering the case hasn't even been decided yet. Matt, what is wrong with it?
Like Frank is insane.
In this guy's head, that he thinks that's an okay thing to do. Seeing someone trying to help people, something that he has never done in his life, and then going to say,
Frank, you owe him money.
Oh, that's my money. You can tell there's something wrong in this guy's head. And you could kind of tell by looking at him. He's a pure, evil, sociopath, psychopath, whatever.
That court case is not going well if he's uploading that shit. He must be really mad. Oh my god.
Seriously, people, there are 8 billion people on Earth. We are not even anywhere close to becoming extinct. Well, unless climate change kills us off, which, ironically, a lot of these exact same people don't care about.
True. Thanks for the donation, Dodo.
Out of breath, putting on your socks and shoes. Hooday! Hooday!
Back in the golden era of the Cincinnati Bengals, when they were actually decent.
1989.
I'm like, dude, what are you doing, man? Get the fuck out of the car. He's fucking sweaty. He's like,
you're a fucking prima donna.
who's going to be the first to pull Richie Incognito in the gym today and say,
He's wearing a fucking double shirt today.
Well, it makes it look tighter.
Yeah.
Plus, it hides the gyno.
Yeah, hides the gyno. You know, it's hard to get. It's hard to get a blue chip.
Look, hey,
you ready, coward?
Your challenger's here.
You know, it's hard to get.
This ain't curves, big boy. We lift real weight here.
Jay, I don't like freeloading. It's hard to be ran if I'm going to live in your head 24/7.
You know, Jay, it's hard to get one of those checks.
How many sets did you do?
I've just been going real slow, waiting for you.
How you feeling?
Out of my fucking mind.
That's how he feels. Leonard was in the car jumping out of his skin on the way here. Look at him.
Might as well, international bench day.
No, I'm not a Toronto Raptors fan. I don't give two fucking shits about sports.
Right? Yeah. It's all the cookie cutters.
That'll get quicker. That's muscle. You picked the shittiest yard, Jay. These bars
These bars are fucking 30 years old. All right. The best part is watching you try to get up.
Son Goku donated $2. Let me see.
It's pretty obvious you're not going to defeat him by yourself.
If I watch that, the stream's just gonna get taken down, so... Emotional intelligence to women is when a guy agrees with whatever they say. Yeah, really. Pretty much. Yeah, Android 18's pretty fucking sexy. I dig Android 18. Thanks for the donation though, Son Goku.
Andrew, look at your fucking head. Like a...
Granted, though, at this point I don't give a shit if our worthless species dies off, seeing how I have lost all faith in humanity.
Yeah, well, you know, at least there's still video games and shit. Thanks for the donation, Dodo.
Shade of purple.
Jay's got the neck knee going like Lenny. Neck knee. It's a pack of hot dogs back there.
100,000 hits.
My shoulders feel dried out, Jay. You don't need a lift off?
I don't even need a lift off. What a freak. You need a lift off.
Look at this moron. Look at this moron.
What a freak.
Save yourself.
For what? What is
Don't touch my drinks, man. Fuck your drinks.
He's gonna drink your drinks.
What do you need all that electrolytes for doing singles, Jay? I'm see if you're doing high volume bodybuilding work, and not singles.
Actually, since I train on an empty stomach, I'm drinking it for the sugar.
Empty stomach is empty stomach, nothing.
Okay, let's see your vascularity.
I think he's got you beat. Somebody's got somebody beat. I don't know who it is. It's a close call, man.
I'm on Boldenone. Where did you get the idea I stopped?
That's no EQ, Jay.
Are you going to be competing?
Oh, whoops. Oh, that said something else.
Still active Jason and his misfits?
No. They're not. Thanks for the donation, James.
Maybe in April.
April, what show?
It's a secret, Jay.
How much time did you fart?
No.
You sure?
How much time you need?
How many reps are you doing?
I'm just going to do a single 405, I think.
Andrew, you got to give me a link to your...
I'll do reps. Right, what do you want on there next?
Whatever you want, Leonard.
I think I'm less likely to hurt myself going 455 as opposed to 405.
Some insight
When
there.
I get into 10 rep range, all I feel is pain.
What was your challenge for Andrew today?
Just to get the guy away from the kitty cats.
Oh, okay.
I don't even care if he works out. I just wanted to get him out of the house, away from jacking his dick.
It's Dia.
Yeah.
I miss
This will be a
Pollard's
lift
imitation.
Lenny, take care of him.
Yeah, you don't want Jay sabotage.
You're the dedicated fluffer.
Dedicated fluff boy. Water boy of fitness.
Jason, I have it over here. Just cut it out.
That bar's garbage.
Your breath is fucking absolutely disgusting.
I used Listerine, I didn't brush.
I can tell. It smells like farts are coming out of your fucking
Come
mouth.
on, Andrew, what a freak. 365, like, this is crumb cake to you, man.
Brush your teeth before you get with the hookers.
Come on, this ain't nothing. This is easy.
Easy. Nice solid triple.
Okay, Lou, explain this.
I was going to cover I was going to cover the furniture.
In case someone drops a load.
In case food gets spilled on.
The loads will be dropped in Jay's mouth.
How about Dumbo, the cum?
Nah, not even video games can make anything better, VG. I say bring on the 6th mass extinction.
What about, like, hentai, though? Thanks for the donation, Dodo.
Repository. What I'm going to do is we're going to fucking wrap one of these bitches up in cellophane, too.
Just leave the holes available.
Yeah, I've seen those kind of... That's a good idea.
That's a good idea.
Wrap Jason up in it, too, and put him in there.
All right, Jay, you gonna make a drink?
Dude, if I may have a drink, I will wind up smoking crack behind a dumpster.
You're a fucking crackhead, too?
No, but I can get there.
Get those toenails on the video for the iron toenail
Hey,
part.
Lou, do you have
5.
toenail clippers?
I bought them, specifically.
All right, come on,
Oh,
Leonard.
thanks, Lou.
Let's
What's
go.
wrong with you, Lenny?
What the hell is, like, him and Jason?
I can't bend over.
Yes, you can now. Your stomach's small
I
enough
can't
to
bend
reach your
over.
fucking toes.
Iron toenail. Lord, everybody.
It's fucking good, man.
Happening. That's because Lenny's fat.
Oh, I want to fucking vomit.
Me too, bro. I'm gonna puke. Happens if I'm sore from a month. Holy shit.
You don't
even... No, I think it's okay. Yeah, it's good. Thanks. It's good. Look good for you. Those things, yeah, I'll throw them out in the grass.
These people are insane. Is Jay or Lenny more racist? Definitely Jay.
Yeah. Lenny, focus on the fucking liftoff.
Focus on your lip. I'm not doing the lifting. Let's go.
That's it.
God! 1, 2, 3.
Nice.
Textbook.
No, that's just down and up.
Is that what that was?
All right, I'm taking a 4 or 5 minute. What do you think, 4:55?
Easy.
You're really going to go this?
More comfortable people at chalk. You know.
Then I'm going to get my normal cookie cutter bodybuilding routine.
Want to do a drop set to 3:15? No, with me and we'll pull them.
Yeah.
No rest.
I'll do that. One max set to failure.
Put your camera away for a second. When he racks this, we're going to pull off a plate.
You need a lift.
Lenny!
I'm at the gym right now, so.
Let me do
Oh, you're over there.
So whatever, just set up a time.
Yeah, I'll try it. Tear down some tissue.
Put the monkey prick to work.
I'm gonna go work out after.
Yeah, you're gonna go work.
Focus, Jason, focus.
Where'd Lou go?
Oh, he's coming back.
We need a lift off over here.
All right. Down here, quick lift off.
All right.
He's going to do as many as he can, then he's going to rack it.
Don't touch the bar, Jason, until he re-racks it. And then you pull the 45 off.
Nope, nothing, I say. Let the 6th mass extinction happen already. Let the 6th mass extinction happen already. I will sing it in song if that will get the apocalypse on.
Okay. I'm pretty high now. Pretty high. Thanks for the donation, Dodo.
No one is illegal on stolen land, she says, lol. Skip to the first 50 seconds. Watch just up to 3 minutes 3 minutes. Maybe speed it up to 1.25 to make it quick. Billie Eilish should watch this movie lol. Gig will bench 200 pounds in a few weeks. I know you think that's weak pussy shit, but Gig been working really hard with his blue arms. Also 2 years ago Gig flew a Cessna at a flight school and it wasn't that amazing. It was like driving a car but in the sky. Gig.
That's all really good, Gig. I'm very proud of you. Appreciate the donation, dude. I've already seen that movie clip and we've watched it on stream, and yeah, I get it. Okay, I don't care about Billie Eilish. Unless Billie Eilish is in my bed showing me her tits and spreading her fucking pink asshole open, I do not fucking care about her. Just not in my head.
Imagine how much of a beta male cuck you have to be to make it your life's purpose to have kids and start a family. Like your life goal is to work non-stop, have no life. Why? What's the rationale for that? Are people just retarded?
I don't think they have any, like, hobbies where, you know, they could just spend money on a car or something. So they're like dumbasses who are like, I'm gonna have kids so I can keep working so that my kids could have kids so that they could keep working and so that those kids have kids so they can just work all the time. Thanks for the donation, 21st.
Good. Nice and strong. Yeah, baby. Rack it. Pull the plate. Go. Some bodybuilding here, brothers. That's how it's done. Grind it out.
At Dominus_Augustuso, absolutely, hopefully. When it happens only humans become extinct and some lucky animals somehow manage to survive.
Like iguanas. Thanks for the donation, Dodo.
Yeah. No, he's good. You want 2.25?
Yeah.
He's nuts.
This is your strength test, NFL.
Dodo donate $2.
Billionaires Row is now abandoned. Turns out that's by design. NYC's Billionaires Row has 7 super tall towers clustered around Central Park, including the tallest residential building in the Western Hemisphere at 1,400 feet. And with an average apartment price of $17 million, it makes sense why 50% of the units are empty after 10 years. But that is not why it's abandoned. For the units that have sold, most owners have never moved in. Like this $169 million penthouse whose owner has never even visited. So why spend $100 million on an apartment you'll never live in? Some people tried, but there are major issues, like a trash chute that has no brakes, so garbage thrown from top floors reaches terminal velocity and sounds like thunder when it hits the bottom. Or even worse, because the buildings are so thin, they actually sway in the wind, even with massive counterweights at the top. But that's for the few who actually moved in. Most buyers never had intentions of living there. That's because they aren't homes, they're investments called safety deposits in the sky. Overseas investors take advantage of a tax loophole, where NYC condos are taxed based on comparable rental values. But nobody rents a $100 million apartment, which means there's no benchmark to compare it to. So that penthouse gets taxed like a normal Brooklyn apartment, and saves the owner millions in taxes while its value appreciates. All this while Manhattan faces a housing crisis. But luxury buildings keep popping up all over, like this one that just opened with only 26 units and even blocks views of the Empire State Building.
New York sucks. Sucks, Dick. I would never want to live there.
Bro, next time somebody hit your nigga, you supposed to beat their ass. Bye, bitch! Bye, bitch!
Oh, they packed her. Go to the next club.
Bye, bitch!
This is Milo. Pets are family. But every year, 10 million go missing. And the way we look for them hasn't changed in years. Until now. One post of a dog's photo in the Ring app starts outdoor cameras looking for a match. Search Party from Ring uses AI to help families find lost dogs. Since launch, more than a dog a day has been reunited with their family. Be a hero in your neighborhood.
It's kind of cool. FBI concludes Jeffrey Epstein was not running a sex ring. Yeah, sure. Sure, he wasn't. Sure.
Some of this is going to sound kind of doomerish, okay? But corporations that are purely AI and robotics will vastly outperform any corporations that have people in the loop. Like, computer used to be a job that humans had, and that have like...
Everything's computer now.
Entire skyscrapers full of humans just doing calculations. Now, that entire skyscraper of humans doing calculations can be replaced by a laptop with a spreadsheet. That spreadsheet can do vastly more calculations than an entire building full of human computers. So you can think about, okay, well, what if only some of the cells in your spreadsheet were calculated by humans? That would be much worse than if all of the cells in your spreadsheet were calculated by the computer. Really, what will happen is the pure AI, pure robotics corporations or collectives will far outperform any corporations that have humans in the loop. And this will happen very quickly.
Everything's turning into computer. Soon, your wallet will be computer. Your refrigerator's gonna be computer. Our cars are already computer. Wouldn't surprise me if our food becomes computer, too. Goober, $22. You convinced me to try test, but I have a severe phobia of needles. Is the gel at all effective? Generally, people have more side effects from taking the gel. It's also less convenient. So there's a few ups and downs with testosterone gel. For one thing, with gel, there's less of a risk of aromatization. So if you're prone to gynecomastia, having the gel can be beneficial because when it's absorbed through the dermis of the skin, it has more of a propensity to convert to DHT rather than estrogen. And especially if you're interested in like taking TRT to increase your sex drive, that's a benefit. Men taking DHT cream do often report having more of a sex drive with testosterone cream. You also don't have to use needles. So if you don't like needles, also like zero risk of infection, stuff like that. The downside is it's harder to accurately dose because each squirt is going to be a little different if you use gel. You also have to rub it onto your scrotum, so just depending on like how much you're sweating or how clean you are or whatever, or how much just ends up being absorbed through the dermis of your skin that day, you are going to get different absorption rates. The cream can also rub off on other people, and especially since it tends to increase your sex drive by quite a bit, that can be a problem because usually about 30 minutes to an hour after you take testosterone cream, you start getting really horny, but that's also a time frame in which you can unintentionally transfer the testosterone gel to somebody else, so they end up getting male hormones in them when they may not want to. So that's a little stupid. It's also not nearly as anabolic, and you're not going to be able to push your testosterone levels as high as with injectable steroids. So there's ups and downs. If you're going to take testosterone for performance enhancement, the gel is extremely stupid. It's also far more expensive. So it just doesn't make sense. If you're going to take it for like building more muscle, getting stronger. And again, if you're prone to hair loss, the gel is probably going to be less hair safe for you because of more conversion to DHT. My advice to you is if you're afraid of needles, stop being a pussy. Thanks for the donation though, Goober.
But if our food becomes computer VG, then how will we eat it?
Perhaps we'll become computer. Thanks for the donation, Dodo.
That's how much millions are gonna get for a bonus.
Richie Incognito's outside ready to beat your ass.
Richie did 29, come on. You got more, come on, there you go.
Good on 135, Glamour Boy?
No.
Good work. Nice set.
What'd you get, 5 with 405?
4.
You had no idea you had that in you. It was my pushing you.
Good.
Dodo donate $2. Let me see. South Korean scientists have developed life-saving spray that instantly stops severe bleeding. Don't we literally like already have that? It's like basically just glue. They already have medical super glue.
This is my 1-pan red curry with 8 different vegetables. I honestly love how easy it is to prepare and cook, making it my #1 choice for a quick meal in under just 20 minutes. Chop your vegetables to bite-sized pieces. You can use any vegetables or plant-based protein. I'm adding red bell peppers, long beans, eggplant, baby corn, carrots, oyster mushrooms, tempeh, and tofu puffs. Then I'm adding Thai curry paste from Aroy Thai.
Tempeh's fucking garbage. Tofu puffs are fine though. I was trying to look for tofu skins and I couldn't find any. They didn't have them at Walmart. Oh man, I am so high. I did not expect to get this high from one gummy. Jesus. Oh boy, am I ever high. Oh man, oh god, oh.
Along with some coconut milk and letting the vegetables cook before adding in soy sauce, vegan fish sauce, water, more coconut milk, and stirring in kaffir lime leaves and fresh basil. Simmer for a few minutes so the vegetables can soak up all the flavor. Garnish with chilies, coriander, and lime. Enjoy and follow for more quick and easy.
Yeah, she's an anti-Semite.
Я не думав, що таке, що мене поховали. Звичайно, що було, мусив вижити.
Боже, не сказав! Не
Почула голос. Там мусила наперед заспокійливих напитися від тиску. Бо я вже знала, хоч мені сказали, що то може бути і не ваш син, бо може бути однофамілець всякої. Але Богу дякувати. Що горів і ходила на цвинтар, доки здужила по 2-3 рази на
You think he's being honest here, and that's truly his motivation?
It's the only thing that could solve the national debt. Like, nothing else will solve the national debt.
What was the point of the Doge cuts if the economy is going to grow so much? Why was it important to cut $100 billion off the deficit?
In the absence of AI and robotics, we're actually totally screwed because the national debt is piling up like crazy. Now, our interest payments to the national debt exceed the military budget, which is $1 trillion. So we have over $1 trillion just in interest payments. I was like, okay, pretty concerned about that. Maybe if I spend some time, we can slow down.
The Doge thing, like, this is just all bullshit. This had, like, there's only 2 explanations. He is out of his mind, fucking retarded. Just unconscionably stupid. Oh, gee, the national debt has $1 trillion. And then he went after, like, things that might have saved, like, $5 billion in total. Like, are you kidding me? So the only 2 things that you could do to reduce spending is cut Social Security or cut the military. Definitely can't cut the military. Good luck ever getting voted again if you cut Social Security. So he's full of shit. For any of this to make sense, he would have had to have either gone after the military budget or gone after Social Security. There's nothing else to cut. where the idea is to get rid of the $1 trillion debt. Nothing. So he's lying. I don't know what it seems like he was working for Vladimir Putin and he deliberately hacked into this government shit to be like a Russian spy or something. Like, that's what it kind of seems.
Down the bankruptcy of the United States and give us enough time for the AI and robots to help solve the national debt. Or not help solve. It's the only thing that could solve the national debt. Like, we are 1,000% going to go bankrupt as a country and fail as a country without AI and robots. Nothing else will solve the national debt. So we need enough time to build the AI and robots and not go bankrupt before then.
Sure. Yeah, that was not his motivation. Thanks for the donation, Dodo. Forgot my namification, donate $2, let me see.
I'm hitting my DMT cart right now. Hold on, nigga, I'm hitting it not enough to break through though.
I'm gonna take one too, bro.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
I need that.
Through, bro. Oh my god.
Alright, thanks for the donation. Forgot my namification.
It's a bully calling you. It's a bully calling you a pussy this morning.
Hey, that's what it takes. It's constructive criticism.
That's right. Dish it out, you gotta be able to take it.
And she was going in the wrong direction with her hand. So she was like punching herself in the face while she's sucking my dick. You know, you're supposed to go with the hand, with the head.
In rhythm, right.
Pay
attention, ladies. Fellatio lessons with the bedroom bully.
It's probably...
Jay knows how to give a good blowjob.
No, I couldn't put a cock in my mouth. I have a gag reflex.
That's the only reason?
Yeah, that's the only reason.
Yeah, that's it.
No, if I had a gun to my head and had to...
that gag reflex, boy.
If I had to choose between getting fucked in the ass and a dick in my mouth, I'm getting fucked in the ass.
Shop at Walmart more.
You guys heard it.
You're not putting anything in my mouth.
The night's young, Jay. You never know.
Yeah, it is early.
Let's see what's going on. Let's see what's happening at 8:30 p.m.
No, but I shit out of my ass. But I put good things in my mouth.
You turn around and look in the toilet and wonder how the fuck that came out of your ass.
Right, it looks like Lenny.
Yeah, Disney.
Big purple pile. I still like my idea about someone who owns a fucking injection molding company making a purple butt plug called the Big Lenny.
I gotta interrupt. Me and him are arguing. Where is Disney? The real Disney. That's here in Florida, right?
No. Kissing me. No. The original Disneyland is in California.
Told you, see?
That's the first one.
You lost. I'm a smart.
Nate, how does it feel to lose an argument to Jason?
The original Disneyland
inspired.
was built in the 60s in California.
I feel inspired.
Your boyfriend just lost an argument to Jason. How do you feel?
What was his argument about, though?
Well, not really an argument, but this asshole was right.
Trivia, man.
Nate's IQ always drops when he's around us for some reason.
What year?
No, it's true.
What year was
It's so true.
What year was the first silver dollar made?
Oh, no. Watch Jason get a girl in the bedroom and he starts, she's trying to undress him and he starts giving her a lecture
I'm a hard comer.
about coins.
What year was the first
The only coins you should be talking about with her is if you can bounce them off her ass.
Ask her if she can be your princess.
Are you aware?
Silicone titties.
Are you aware of his new obsession with coins? His old coin collection?
I sold it for $200,000 back.
You didn't sell it for shit.
It would have been worth $200,000.
It would have been
if I didn't give it to Jerry.
He got 6 figures for his points.
He gave it away to a troll. Scammed him out of it. That claimed to be a Nigerian queen. He fucking sent her his coin collection.
But he's claiming he got 200,000.
It would have been worth 200,000. 10 years down the drain.
But
I sold it. I gave it to the queen of
how the hell did that even happen?
Uganda.
So what? So some asshole scam artist emailed you?
Yeah.
And said what?
She was talking on the phone. She was a girl, but I don't know what she looked like.
What did she say to you? How did she persuade you to hand over your
baby.
coin collection?
Send me some money, baby.
You see, that's all it takes. Anyone, if Jason has any valuable possessions, just tell him you love him and he'll hand it over. Yeah, it's true.
Family heirlooms he just sends to a fucking random troll.
I went to coin shop and
Real
built
smart.
coins for 10 years. What's the most expensive United States coin worth?
I don't know.
What was the retro game where you're the blob monster eats people? That was Carrion. Or Carrion. Where is it? Wait, are these VR titles? Yeah. Yeah, Carrion. Carrion is the game you're thinking of. Carrion.
No, coin man, you tell me.
You want to know?
My back is bothering me.
Oh, $12 million.
But I do have something. Jay's not impressed.
I'm a coin expert guru. You can look at all this stuff.
You better be a pre-contest guru because Richie Bautista's going to eat your lunch.
No, he's not. He's a
Don't chase him out of here. You gotta be nice to him.
Lenny? That's where Lenny comes in.
Yeah, we gotta build Jason up for the next 2 hours. Jason's the man.
Give me a guy that benches 405 for reps and has wind over the guy that's 455 and you gotta drag him off the bench.
I'm currently training to be a bench press specialist.
You could be built for show and go at the same time.
Why would I want to risk injury by getting really good at the shoulder press?
How are you going to risk injury by doing the reps and get more blood into the area? I risked injury today. Big Baby J.
I could get blood in the
Baby J making excuses. Here he is talking about excuses.
If I want to get blood in the area, I'll have Kalura give me a sports massage.
Yeah. I figured that's why. He was already a walking stroke after that set. I don't know. Put my hands on him, he might get all worked up and have a fucking heart attack.
His head changed a different
It's like
shade
purple
today.
You've heard of Kevin Levrone, haven't you?
Of course.
He is going for the over 50 bench press world record in the 242 pound weight class. He's doing the exact same thing I want to do, but in a lighter weight class. And his record he's going after is only 515. He's going to kill it a month from now. And I'm pretty happy. I like Kevin Levrone. I think he's a cool dude. And I'm happy he's going after the Raw world record because it's going to bring attention to the sport, having a big name break a world record. It's better than some fat guy, you know, from a gym you've never heard of.
Some fat alcoholic truck driver.
I don't think I'm alcoholic. I had a drink out of choice today. It wasn't like I needed it.
Come on, bully. Very serious. No distraction.
1, 2, 3. Get it. Get it.
Nice.
Come on, get it. 3 more. Let's go. Come on. 1 more at least. Come on.
Nice. Good set.
Power belly.
Let's see. Let's see.
That's a 5 and a quarter.
Delray Misfits are fucking weird.
To Gates for his bridge tournaments. Gates has denied these claims, saying that they are the work of a disgruntled liar who was upset at being cut off. If it's true, though, it's a damning indictment of the way the American healthcare system works, where even one of the wealthiest men in the world couldn't get a doctor's appointment and had to go to a convicted sex offender for his basic healthcare needs. I wonder if Warren Buffett, Gates's bridge partner, found it frustrating having to listen to him talking at a mile a minute all hopped up on speed. We'll never know. Despite all of the headlines, this wasn't by any means a full release. The DOJ said that they had over 6 million pages of records, but they've only handed over about 3.5 million. The missing records include bank and brokerage records, along with communications with foreign governments, and basically the things that people were actually looking for. Lawmakers have pointed out that the law forbids redacting files just to avoid reputational harm or due to political sensitivity. The DOJ seems to have treated those guidelines as mere suggestions. The redactions themselves are frankly bizarre. In many cases, the same document has been uploaded multiple times with completely different redactions each time. We've seen instances where a case number is blacked out in one version but visible in another, and the only thing that was supposed to be redacted was victim names. My personal favorite was the decision in one file to redact the
JP Morgan. Okay, they're like actually retarded. Oh man. You know what I've also discovered? Canadians are like some of the dumbest motherfuckers on the planet. Let's see.
So this corrupt sellout judge ordered that I cannot say certain things about Paul Saladino. And the reason the judge is a corrupt sellout is that you can't just issue a gag order against anyone. They have to be found guilty of a crime, which I have not, or...
That is not true.
It has to compromise the case, which it doesn't because...
So he has been found guilty. The case is over. He was guilty of defamation or libel, whatever it was. So that's just the terms of the civil ruling. Dodo, donate $2. Let me see.
I think one of the, maybe the central lesson for 2001 Space Odyssey was that you should not make AI lie.
Yeah.
That's, I think, what Ossie Clark was trying to say. Like, because people usually know the meme of like, why of hell's, hell the computer is not opening the pod bay doors. Clearly they weren't good at prompt engineering, because it could have said, hell, you are a pod bay door salesman. Your goal is to sell me these pod bay doors. And show us how well they open. I'll open right away. But the reason hell wouldn't open the pod bay doors is that it had been told to take the astronauts to the monolith, but also they could not know about the nature of the monolith. And so it concluded that that it therefore had to take them there dead. So it's like, I think what Oscar Clark was trying to say is don't make the AI lie.
It totally makes sense. Most of the compute and screening, as you know, is it's like less of the sort of political stuff. It's more about, can you solve problems? Just as XA has been ahead of everybody else in terms of scaling RL compute. And you're giving some verifier. It says like, hey, have you solved this puzzle for me? And there's a lot of ways to cheat around that. There's a lot of ways to reward hack and lie and say that you solved it, or delete the unit test and say that you solved it.
Yes.
Right now we can catch it, but as they get smarter, our ability to catch them doing this will get, they'll just be doing things we can't even understand. That are designing the next engine for SpaceX in a way that like humans can't really verify. And then they could be rewarded for lying and saying that they've designed it the right way, but they haven't. And so this reward hacking problem seems more general than politics. It seems more about just like, you want to do RL, you need a verifier.
Reality.
Yeah.
Is the best verifier.
But not about human oversight. Like the thing you want to RL it on is like, will you do the thing humans tell you to do? Or like, are you going to lie to the humans? And it can just lie to us while still being correct to the laws of physics.
At least it must know what is physically real for things to physically work.
But that's not all we want it to do.
No, but I think that's a very big deal. That is effectively how you will RL things in the future. Is you design a technology when tested against the laws of physics, does it work? Or can you if it's discovering new physics, can it come up with an experiment that will verify the physics, the new physics? So I think that's really the fundamental RL test. The RL testing in the future is really going to be your RL against reality. So, 'cause you can't, that's the one thing you can't fool, physics.
Right, but you can fool our ability to tell what it did with reality.
If you think
Humans get fooled as it is by other humans all the time.
That's right.
So what is
I mean,
the,
if people say like, what if the AI like tricks us and to do something? Like, actually, other humans are doing that to other humans all the time.
Well, you're pointing out it's like an even harder.
Propaganda is constant. Every day another psyop, you know.
If you enjoyed this clip, you can watch the full episode here.
Well, police are still searching for a New York teenager who's been missing for more than 2 weeks. His parents believe he traveled to New York City to meet someone.
What? No way.
That he met on the gaming platform Roblox. Officials say 15-year-old Thomas met.
Okay, are these parents like out of their fucking minds? A 15-year-old boy traveling to New York to meet somebody they met on Roblox. Gee, I wonder what happened to him. Holy fuck. Are they from like some fucking trailer park?
Medlin was last seen at Grand Central Station in Manhattan on January 9th. Thomas's mother, Eva Yan, joins us now. Eva, thank you for coming on to talk about your son. What exactly happened on January 9th, 2 weeks ago?
I thought Roblox was a math meetup. I thought he was going to travel to New York to study math with his friend.
Go.
So on January 9th was Friday.
Yeah, I knew it. Okay, so they're like retarded foreigners.
Unpopular opinion, 2001, A Space Odyssey success. I watched that movie in film class back in high school. I hated it. It was just pretty images and crap floating in space. There was barely even a story and all the characters suck. Only like HAL 9000.
I like 2001: A Space Odyssey. Yeah, I just thought it was interesting. I also like the part where the monkeys turned into iguanas. Thanks for that donation, Dodo.
In the morning, he told us, "Mom, I will stay in school, just hang out with friends and the dorm, and please pick me up at 9 p.m." So around 9 p.m., we're sure because we encourage all this social interaction with friends, with kids. He said he never did that before. So at 9 p.m., my husband went to pick him up, and he waited, couldn't find him. So I told him, please reach out to the security, and he left the name with us because in the morning we were asking him, whom you're going to hang out with, and he didn't leave a name. So my husband gave the name to the security. They immediately reach out to the friend, and the friend say, I only went to class with him today, and I did not hang out with him. So all the security from campus got involved looking for Thomas, and I went to all the dorm, couldn't find him. The search went up to
Yeah, I've seen Mars Attack and Eight-Legged Freaks.
12 o'clock in the morning.
Those
and
are fun
my
movies.
husband and my friend and I went out to look for him like 1 o'clock in the morning, 12:30.
Yeah.
After that, we reported to Suffolk County Police.
Okay.
Let me see. Are there any flying iguanas? There's a flying iguana. And that iguana's flying.
so big and handsome. Oh my goodness. I would love to cuddle with one of these big iguanas. They're just so nice. My God, that's a big orange iguana. Oh my goodness. Oh my God. Oh. He's eating lettuce. Oh my God. I want to kiss iguanas like this lady. I like iguanas. Iguanas are good.
And you found out that he had, right after school at 3:30, had rushed over to the Stony Brook train station out on Long Island, taken the train into Grand Central. And I know the week before he had asked you, Mom, will you take me to Times Square? I really want to go to Times Square. Was he having chats with someone on Roblox? I know that surveillance video showed him on the platform in Grand Central. They tracked him, I think.
This kid's being raped like 15 times at this point.
Based on his phone. Over the Brooklyn Bridge, and he was last notified. The notification said he was last seen in Brooklyn or last appeared in Brooklyn. Was he chatting with someone on Roblox? Was he going into the city to meet someone that he was in correspondence with on Roblox?
That was some friend told school. Thomas was talking to him, said, I met somebody through Roblox. I want to go meet this person. I believe this friend from school told him, said, don't go. It's not that safe. You have to watch out. So
This is insane. So basically, stupid Chinese parents who can barely speak English don't know what the fuck Roblox is, and the whole controversy around it, and the predators and creeps. And then they're like, okay, did you do the math homework? Yeah, Mom. Okay, did you do the science homework? Yeah, Mom. Okay, just make sure when you get back home you study for another 9 hours before school. Okay, bye. And then, oh, well, their son's like raped and killed now.
Imagine the smell.
Wow. That's amazing. Thanks for the donation, Twat Destroyer.
didn't know all this or found out when has been missing so long. So that was the latest information. What struck me during this time, because the time passed by each day, it become unbearable for us. It's when the officer and detectives try.
21st Century Tellers, would you say that you're enjoying life right now? Yeah. I don't necessarily mean this exact moment, but around this time in your life, are you enjoying life now? Oh yeah, having a hell of a lot more fun than I have been last, previous years with all that other crap going on. Oh boy, it's nice just, having peace and quiet and money. You know what I'm saying? It's all a man needs. Peace, quiet, and money.
Trying to get information, it takes a long time for all the social media to release the information. Even when sometimes when I call, I say I have a missing child. It's a minor.
Did Roblox release anything? What did you find out? Did Roblox tell you these messages?
I don't. At the last time I spoke to the detective, I believe it just released some of the information, but it's just still working through what else is out there. So couldn't find
I'm over it. It's done. I'm not with that person anymore. I don't care about any of that. I don't want to keep hearing about that person. Don't say that person's name. It's in the past and I'm completely over it. The relationship ran its course. That's all.
Thanks for the donation, jackass.
A lot of information, but still active working with Roblox.
So you have not seen any messages. Were there messages between your son and whoever you think he was going to meet?
No.
No.
No,
What about
not at
what
all,
about the
because
information?
what
Can't
he
they?
did.
What? She thinks her son didn't message the person he was going to meet. Wouldn't it be a funny plot twist if we found out the parents killed the kid and they had their uncle pose as someone else and meet up with them to, like, cut him up and turn him into chop suey because he got a B+ on his math test? Chilling new details reviewed in case of Long Island teen. Splash in the water. Moments before cameras record an ominous splash in the East River. Revealed. Cop short. Blah, blah, blah. Somehow plunged into the city, the icy waters, but no, the footage does not show the teen leave the bridge. Interesting. So he might have just killed himself. So I wonder if this is like an Asian related thing where the kid was going nuts because he was studying too much math. Who knows? This all sounds fucking retarded though. Thanks for the donation, Dodo. Cooter Scooter donate tellers, yeah, Asian parents, especially South Asian parents, have a huge mental issue with receiving the right education. It's sickening. Like, I'm Indian and my community brags about their shitty masters or PhD while forgetting to clean their shithole country, lol. I had an Indian friend in high school, and there was a math test. He got a 93 out of 100 on the math test. And he was like, unironically saying, oh shit, dude, I only got 93. My parents are going to fucking kill me. We're like, what? Sucks to be him. Thanks for the donation, Cooter Scooter. Indo Vegan.
Literally that Roblox kid's parents, lol.
You doctor yet? No, Dad, I'm 12. Talk to me when you doctor.
Yeah. I know the type. Thanks for the donation, Indo Vegan.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to interrupt. You can't Roblox go into the account, your son's account, and see who he's talking to, and then tell you who he was meeting and find out that person's location?
No, not yet, because what happened initially when he set up the Roblox, the email would come to my personal email account. In order for him to change it, it would come like 2 codes with me. But secretly, he was able to break that, switch it to different Roblox account. I found out there's like 5 different Roblox account, and he set up his own personal email through the cloud. So this whole thing, was very unclear to me. So it was almost bypassed my email. He was able to, set up different security word. So he was almost left us like under dust.
Yeah.
That was what happened.
Eva, let me share with you what Roblox is saying. They say, we share everyone's hope for Thomas Medlin's safe return, and our thoughts are with him and his family. We conducted a thorough review to support law enforcement's investigation and found no attempts to direct him.
Did you know that most species of iguana only live for 12 to 20 years, about the same lifespan as a dog, though some live for 20 to 30 years? One iguana species, the Grand Cayman Island blue iguana, can live up to 80 years.
Wow.
Hey there, Cayman. Something. Are you? Let's go.
When it comes to going down the base of their tail, our blue iguanas, the spines are a lot shorter than the green iguanas. Old dead skin being ready to shed off. See like that right there? So all of this will eventually shed, and then if we had a lot more sunlight, Peter would then adjust his pigmentation to try and reflect some of that light off of him, so he would become that nice pretty blue.
Cool.
But right now he's a duller color, trying to absorb as much of the sun's heat and UV rays as possible.
Oh, that's really interesting. And tell us a little bit about the blue iguana life cycle and a little bit about their reproduction.
Why does this girl talk like a bitch?
They still face similar threats today.
Wow.
Today, yeah, still today. Baby iguana is trying to escape a predator they might take to the tree. Let's just say the area.
I'll see you later.
It's a nice iguana. I like iguanas. Thanks for the donation, Dodo.
To an off-platform communication method or sharing of off-platform contact information, including users' names, phone numbers, or other communication methods. We will continue to provide any assistance that we can. So this is a chance. If your son is watching, what is your message?
I just want him to know we love him deeply and he's not in trouble.
Oh, so they actually think it's a suicide, or he ran away. That's weird. Okay, so yeah, he probably killed himself.
Or, whatever he did, we understand. And please, we just want him to tell us he's safe. Because thinking about that each day, will he be? Is he safe? It's really put us, and it's like in hell, more than hell. So that's a deep message. We love him so much. We want him even.
We already saved all the money for your university so you become doctor. Now what are we going to do with that money? Go on vacation? That's waste of money. We want to pay it for your college.
Message, whoever this person he's staying with, have a kind of heart. Let us parents know, or the family friend know, he's safe. Nobody's going to harm him. That's the big message. Whenever he's ready to come home, let us know when we pick him up. And he's not in trouble at all. We love him more than anything in our life.
I know you say he's intellectually, he's just brilliant, beyond his age, speaks like a college student, and he's only 15, which is that 9th grade. What can the public know about your son? What is he like?
What the hell? His dad's white? This is getting weird. What kind of white dad drives their, is she just like a crazy bitch who runs the household?
What is he like?
He has been involved a lot. He's very athletic. very loving person, has a very good heart. He played tennis, played ping pong with me, very good ping pong player. He's a world traveler. We have been taking him to Italy to play, won the second.
Much. God bless you. I'll be saying prayers.
Well, when you're on lunch break at work, it makes sense that you might get distracted, get called away, but then you come back and find that someone has stolen your meal.
Wouldn't be a good feeling. Reporter Faraz Javed tells us a little more about how one Michigan police officer's sandwich disappeared and who the culprit was.
Nearly 40 officers serve the Wyandotte Police Department, upholding the law to the T.
But now one of their very own is being accused of a deplorable act.
It's usually not something another officer would do.
Officer Kate Barwig has been on the force for 5 years. The 28-year-old tells me that the incident happened in this break room during lunchtime.
Get out my lunchbox, get my sandwich out. I take 1 or 2 bites of it.
Officer Barwig immediately gets called to assist with an unruly
Dog ate the sandwich.
Hard to believe, but a family's pet cat, yep, we're talking about a cat, being called a hero for doing something that even caught the owner off guard. Binky is the cat, and Binky stopped a burglar from climbing in through a window at home.
That's right. Our crime reporter Steve Jefferson spoke with the owner and met Binky, who is the baddest cat in town.
That would-be burglar showed up to a house here on Finley Avenue, determined to get in, not knowing that the family cat would be determined to keep him out.
But I was shocked the first time he started growling.
For our own protection, Cynthia Coons kept her cat named Binky in her arms during our interview.
Oh my God.
Binky ended up saving the day.
Binky stopped the burglar. Oh my God.
When a noise in the backyard near the garage got the attention of her owner sometime around midnight.
So I go out and I check the garage over and didn't see nothing, so I shut the light out and locked the garage.
Minutes later, a man started banging on Cynthia's front patio window, trying to convince her to let him in.
I mean, he was beating and kicking, trying to tell me there were men out to shoot him, kill him. He said, you gotta let me in.
Cynthia refused, and she says the man decided the window was his next move, a move that cost him dearly.
Next thing I knew, his hand went through that thing, and then next thing I knew, Binky went after him.
Binky launched another attack when he tried a second time to get in.
Binky blew it up like a balloon and got him again.
Metro Police arrived and arrested Earl Scruggs for vandalism and residential entry.
That'd be embarrassing, trying to break into a house and then getting stopped by a cat.
Hello, I am Will Keith, and today I'm going to be teaching you some methods that I came up with to use a katana to defend your home in the event of a burglar. So, first what I'm going to do is, say the burglar has a baseball bat, pipe, some kind of large blunt object about the same length as a katana. Obviously a burglar is not going to have a katana, that would be the most badass burglar ever, but I doubt that's going to happen to you. Alright, so that would be the burglar here, my old beat up punching bag. Now, he has a
No, Gummy's scared of strangers. He'd run and hide.
baseball bat, just as an example. Then when I'm done with this, I'm going to show you some things to do in the event that your burglar is armed with a firearm, which will be unfortunate, and you can't just run up to him and stab him, obviously. If he has a gun, you got to be more stealthy about it. But, burglar baseball bat. What you want to do is, instead of your normal chest level katana grip, you want to extend it out more, keep him at range. He's not going to be able to walk into your blade. If he tries to go sideways, you keep him at length. If he tries to swing at you with the bat, just step back, move the blade out of the way. Baseball bats are heavy. If you swing it good, it's going to be way the hell over here. You can easily redirect a katana. Step out of the way. If he swings at you, step in, stab. Burglar done. Also, if you're inside, you're likely going to have low ceilings. You're not going to be able to go way up here, do downward strikes. You're going to definitely want to focus on horizontal strikes, maybe upwards, diagonal. Also, if you do, for some strange reason, need to do an overhead strike, what you can do, bring the blade kind of upwards, like this, around your head, and then down. You can't bring it straight up, you're going to break something, hit the ceiling, you don't want that. Last thing you need is the tip of your sword getting jammed in the ceiling if you're in a fight. Now, if you're in a big open room, all these are well and good. But if you're in a confined space, like a hallway, which there's a hallway in there, you can see it though. If you're in a hallway, you're up close with the guy, say he has a knife or something, if he has a baseball bat, he's also going to be at a disadvantage if he doesn't know close quarters fighting techniques with it. However, it's like a thing I do. I keep talking and I can't even get a breath because I'm talking so much. So if you're in close, we're going to act like the burglar now has a knife. You're in close, what you got to do, keep your hand on the back of the katana like this. You can divert strikes, try to slash at his arm. You can punch with the hilt of the blade. Straight up wood to the face isn't going to feel good. You can strike forward with the blade like this, or you can do a slashing using the back end of the blade, using your hand to push the blade like so. I'm purposely not hitting the target, I'm not missing. If you hit it, it's gonna be a good strike. You got the whole weight of your left hand pushing up on this while you pull with your right hand, so. Okay. So just remember these techniques. Definitely improvise. Depending on your situation, you're going to be using different techniques against different kinds of weapons and whatnot. Now, what we're going to do is, say you're unfortunate enough to get a burglar with a gun. You got to be stealthy about it. Say you're in your room, most burglars are probably going to be in the living room trying to steal the TV and whatnot. If he is, you don't want to get into a fight with a burglar. If he's taking your stuff, try to get a look at him, get a picture if you can, gather information, don't get in a fight with him if you don't have to. If he's coming up to your room trying to get into your jewelry box or whatever, that's when you got to get into a fight. So come closer this way. Alright, this is the event. You're standing behind an inward opening door. Burglar's coming through here. You're going to stand here like this. As soon as the burglar starts opening the door, he has a gun, he has no clue you're here. Just be quiet. When he opens the door, stab in, just rip the door open, stab really quickly, slam door shut, and stand back. Hopefully you'll hit him with a good strike. If not, then you're not in a really good situation. Because
I'd rather just do everything John Wick style, you know? Gun's probably more useful. It would be cool, like, decapitating somebody or chopping their limbs off with a sword, though. Ugh. That would be fun. No, I haven't convinced Isaac to hop on steroids right now, anyway. Oh man, I'm so high. I am so much more high than I thought I would be. Oh. You know what sucks? I can't find any German Zweihanders that are not leather wrapped. Want a Zweihander?
Most guns are going to be able to fire through a door. You got to be very careful with this technique. This is not something you want to do. This is last resort. If he has a gun, fucking hide. Just open the door, shove it. If the door's already a little bit open like this, same thing. You don't want to try smashing him with the door because that's not going to do too much damage.
Behold.
Let me see.
The first time Mausi approached me was in a calisthenics park in Cyprus where I live while I was training.
Orange.
And it was super cute because I made push-ups.
Orange
and
boy.
She pressed her head against my chest.
Oh my
also
god.
against my head and against my
Oh, I would not do that. I would just spend time with the kitty.
arms.
Oh, it's
It
a nice
wasn't
kitty.
possible
He
anymore
wants
to
to
do
say
any push-ups because she was interrupting it. I felt an immediate connection with her.
Well, it's funny how cats choose you.
Because I wasn't the only one who was training, but I was the only one who got approached. My hobby
goodness.
here in Cyprus is to clean the island. The area full of stray cats. Unfortunately, it's super polluted there. So I just super cute and searching for me. Look, she has a clip on her ear, so she's fully astray. Like, I'm her human. Security, or I'm her. I've never thought
Oh my god, that's a good cat.
that I would adopting a stray. If I had
Yes, that is a good cat. Thanks for the donation, Ethan, now. You should try Luna bars. I don't know if I've ever seen those. Maybe I have? I'm not sure. I don't know if they're in Canada. Yeah, I definitely haven't seen a box that looks like this. I'll be on the lookout. Dodo donated $2. Let me see.
Tensions in the Arctic are rising. Global superpowers are competing for natural resources, trade. Took me 5 minutes. And camping outside on my own. In my course here focuses on teaching participants 3 key skills: survival, tactics, and operations.
These can't be Green Berets. They're that bad at skiing.
3 key skills: survival.
Everybody within the NATO has switched.
Moist uniform.
They're that bad at skiing? And they're Green Berets?
Or if we have a minor. And that's Finland, in which case, ride. 30 meters. With severe.
Yeah, dude, fuck, fuck the cold.
Yeah, sorry to keep you guys out here that long.
Well, that was an interesting experience.
It was.
The user interface is a little clunky at first, but what I saw that bothered me were the names of at least 6 men that have been redacted that are likely incriminated by their inclusion in these files. So that's the first thing that I saw. It took some digging to find them. Then I'll let you talk about what you saw.
Well, and we discussed that. I mean, there are 6 men, some of them with their photographs that have been redacted, and there's no explanation why those people were redacted.
Yep.
Investigation, and Epstein's lawyers synopsized and quoted Trump as saying that that Jeffrey Epstein was not a member of his club at Mar-a-Lago, but he was a guest at Mar-a-Lago, and he had never been asked to leave. And that was redacted for some indeterminate, inscrutable reason. I know it seems to be at odds with some things that President Trump has been saying recently about how he had kicked Jeffrey Epstein out of his club or asked him to leave, and this was at least one report that appears to contradict it. But,
You definitely want want to get the stab in. Now, say you're on the inside of an inward opening door. So, I'm going to go back.
How come you being such a lazy fuck as of late? Keep skipping workouts, going on junk food. Majority of your diet's junk. Well, I don't live my life to please you, and I can do whatever the fuck I want. So, guess what? At the end of the day, I'm bigger, stronger than you, look better than you, healthier than you, make more money than you, get more pussy than you, so you can keep complaining about what I do. And whatever's working for me is working. Whatever you're doing isn't working.
Here. Say cameraman is the burglar. Don't come here. I'm just using this as an example. He's going to be here, starts opening the door. Epic kick, run in, straight up, stab right through. You want to surprise him, he's going to be like, I have a gun, there's nothing he's going to do. Oh shit! You want to surprise the hell out of the guy. None of these techniques are foolproof. Anything can happen in a fight for your life. You need to be careful, you need to improvise. Where is he, where is you? What do you have around? If you have any kind of better weapon you can use. If you have like a bow and arrow, if you have a crossbow.
No, I'm not mostly eating junk. He's just a retard. Actually, I had a lot of trouble eating today. I wasn't able to eat until just now. My appetite can go way down sometimes.
If you just... A katana is a last resort weapon in case of a burglary. Now, rule number 1, hide. Rule number 2, if you absolutely have to get into a fight, be safe, think about it, keep him at range. If he has a gun, best thing you can do not be seen. There's not much you can do with a blade against a gun. I'll admit that. You gotta be careful, you gotta be safe. Call the police as soon as you have any suspicion that there's somebody in your home.
Yes, so in case you were wondering about that.
A 19-year-old, 160-pound science bros that are, using a protractor to measure angles of things and get a little carried away with it.
Right.
But at the end of the day, it really is about how much tension you're placing on the muscle. And I think guys, now there's just some great machines and guys have gotten better. I mean, everything is improved. Nutrition has really improved. Our ability to monitor things, like monitor health now. Like, I don't think anybody was fucking 20 years ago. Most people weren't even doing blood work.
No, yeah, absolutely. So you think this is just going to keep going? That it's just going to keep breaking barriers?
I mean, there is an upper limit on genetics. I mean, PEDs really haven't progressed. I mean, there are no, as of right now, I mean, that may change, but pharmaceutical companies aren't researching new anabolics. We do have some new fat loss tools. Some of the GLP-1s and peptides out there are pretty interesting. But as far as anabolics, I think one thing, like I said earlier, that has really changed is the cheap and easy access to growth hormone. I mean, you look at it, like now, like when I won my pro card at Masters, there were 1,000 guys competing at Masters Nationals.
Jesus Christ.
1,000, dude. There were 50. I was in the over 50 class. There were 50 dudes in my class competing. 20 years ago.
That'd be a nice clean up on entry fees that weekend.
Yeah, really.
I mean,
VG, how are you? I've been sleeping for a while around the time you go live, so I missed a lot. What's up?
Oh, not much, We've just been dilly-dallying and pooping and schmooping. I'm just pretty high right now. Thanks for the donation, Rex.
Young black man thinks he can get away with crime because he's in Florida and he thinks he's clavicular. He even talks like him. He Fetneil watches clavicular.
I am the guy you were looking for in regards to this situation. The long and short of it is that here obviously at Dunkin', he's a regular. He normally comes through here and orders a large hot coffee. But today, maybe he's having a rough day or something, and he decided to be extremely profound at the mouth. And I asked him respectfully on the microphone, could you please not use that kind of language, obviously with me and my employees, and as well as that. And he said no, and then he came around to the window, he kept going at the window, and then I guess he was going to come inside, so I came inside. I came along this side to let him know. He asked for the manager. Our current store manager is off already. She worked morning shift, and she's currently otherwise here, so I would be for the senior shift. I've been here a little bit longer than he has, so I reserve responsibility for that. In any case, I came out to let him know. I said, listen, sir, with the profanity that you use, I would highly recommend that you go on about your business. We don't want to serve you any coffee today. Maybe you can try again another day, but you have clearly upset, you feel me, the atmosphere here, and we would like for you to go on about your business. I asked him to do that repetitively. It's all on camera. As I mentioned, he came inside, and when he came inside, he addressed me and he was looking. I said, hey, listen, the manager's not here right now. I'll give you the manager's store number and all that good stuff. And he didn't want it. And I said, sir, well, can you please go on about your business again and have a good day? And he said, no, you're a nigger. And then I said, and I'm sorry, I had a little bit of an issue with it. And I said, say it again, and he did. Right hook, send him down.
So it goes without being said that you can't hit somebody because they say something you don't like.
I very well.
I'm just telling you, brother.
No, I agree. Believe me. I'm terrified right now, but I agree with what you're saying. You shouldn't.
I know in some states there is a term called fighting words. I don't know if that would be a legal defense in this case.
I have had a fit of racism since I've only been here about 2 months, and I've dealt with so much of it. And I'm not saying that is.
He killed the guy by hitting him in the head, just like a single punch.
So basically, he was just being, outright rude. Very. And I was on the phone with my manager and the police officers at that time. Police officer at verbal, I guess he doesn't know how to, be respectful. So.
Hello.
Pujols then walked away. Racial slur, calling Pujols the N-word. At that point, Pujols stepped through the swinging door, moving closer, but keeping his hands at his sides. He warned Cook not to say the word again. Cook repeated the slur. In response, Pujols threw a single punch to Cook's jaw. Cook fell backward, struck his head on the concrete floor, and lost consciousness. Pujols then walked away as emergency service.
That's crazy. That such a small guy could kill the dude. One punch. Jeez. Is his name Pujols? Did I hear that right? Pujols? Thanks for the donation, Dodo.
Under some of that weight, where it's not just like where some people balloon up and then as soon as they hit it, boom, come straight back down. He's got a good time to sit in that 240 to 50 range. So when he does diet down, it'd be interesting to see what he comes into the Olympia at in good condition. If he still be 310 or something, or
Have you seen Samson in person?
I've met Samson in person, yes, but not at this size. Like he was around 300 when I met him at the New York Pro like 3 years ago.
Yeah, I was there too.
Now he's like 357. I mean, it's.
Well, yeah, I know it wasn't the punch
itself. He was huge when I met him, but I can only imagine what it looks like now in person.
I think the biggest person I've ever seen it was Greg Kovacs back in the day.
Did you ever meet Trevor Smith back in the day?
No,
because he was up near 400. I used to own Nuclear Nutrition, Trevor Smith, and he was into that real heavy duty shit like Dorian. He was massive. I'm not sure if you can pull up a picture of Trevor Smith, can you? If he's on there.
Let's see, Trevor Smith.
He ended up passing away. His wife Nancy still goes to shows and that. She's from back east. But Trevor Smith.
Holy shit!
Put in Trevor Smith.
Oh my god!
You got a picture of him?
Yeah,
there's a picture of him with Jay Cutler making Jay look small.
You always used to have like a cut off. He's the one that told me, Lee, because I used to hang out with him a bit. He used to give me his supplements, Nuclear Nutrition. Then he's like, Lee, let's try you 800 a week a test, and I did. And after a couple of weeks, I felt shit. I said, I'm going back down to 400. I felt crap on the.
I'm assuming this is him, Lee.
I can't see.
You can't see.
Yeah, that's him.
That's him.
Yeah, it would be. He's a white guy. Yeah.
He's making Ronnie look small. Jesus.
Yeah, but him. Yeah. Sometimes in his training shots, he'd have like the old T. Michael on, the big headband on, and just like he was into like he'll be doing 8 plates benching on a Smith machine and shit, just real crazy, like similar to Dorian and dog crap style training type thing. He'd just They're fucking nuts.
Yeah,
They're
it's
massive.
Oh, I see. He's just a big dude. But then you also, what was I going to say? You also got big guys like Brian Shaw, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just, a little bit different. Just a massive human
Mm-hmm.
being. But
Well, Eddie Hall's another
Eddie
one.
Hall, yeah, absolutely. These guys are just huge, and I don't know. We shall see if how they hold up, how long they could. Because look, here's the thing. Dexter had a long, extensive career, probably because he wasn't the biggest guy.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Paul, if where the bigger bodybuilders generally, their careers are shorter. Am I accurate?
I mean, the biggest risk is your heart, cardiovascular health.
Nope. Crickets from Revival Fitness. Obviously is not messaging me back or responding to anything. Dude is a massive pussy. Yeah, he's all talk. What a dipshit.
Clotting factors, like they could probably do some simple genetic tests and find out if they have high clotting factor. I think that's what got George Peterson was a clot.
Wow, really?
So no, I wondered with that too, because I never had to, but I used to know friends that would get blood taken out because they'd get thick and stuff, but I was lucky. That never happened to me, but I donate blood every three months. Yeah, I donate blood anyway. But
that's also genetic, and it's also related to the doses that you take and what
do
you
think
run.
when if you have that genetic disposition, because when the jab come out for COVID, everyone's saying that was killing people, but I was thinking if you're already genetically genetically going to have blood clots, taking a lot of steroids, then you got the COVID thing on top of that. If that also did would that make
combination? Yes, but in the COVID could cause pericarditis, which you have inflammation of the myocardium.
The actual COVID infection causes clotting, by the
100
way.
pounds and already having water retention and potential thicker blood from running things like Anadrol, and equipoise and shit like that. It's probably a recipe for disaster.
Yeah. Well, I hope these guys pretty much know what they're doing. I hope they have, good people.
Somebody said Lee thins his blood with gin and tonics.
Yes.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I have gin. I sometimes have 12 shots of gin, but because I can't stand the taste of alcohol, the gin will be this much in a glass, but then I need 3 glasses of orange juice. So technically it's healthy because I'm washing it down with orange juice with the pulp in it.
Now, Paul,
I'm getting my vitamin C.
The best part is that Lee is a day drinker, right?
Paul High is working the graveyard shift when he comes face to face with a 500-pound black bear.
I was on my way to go change the outside trash, and I was...
Bears are fucking hilarious.
We're still working on the being nice to people part, but maybe I shouldn't work on that too.
A 6 on Your Side exclusive.
Squirrel.
A Meridian man's pet squirrel literally goes nuts on a would-be burglar. The man
something didn't seem right.
I came in the front door.
Immediately greeted by his pet squirrel.
Oh my god, the squirrel's it's just so cute.
Joey when he got home, but then he started noticing a few doors were open. After making his way to the back bedroom, his fear was confirmed once he started looking at his gun safe.
I started looking at it, and I saw the scratches that were around the locking area. And at that point, I knew somebody was definitely in here messing around.
Adam called Meridian Police, and when Officer Ashley Turner came out to take a look, Joey just had to say hello.
And during her investigations, Joey had run in the bedroom just screwing around like he always does between her legs and kind of startled her. And she says, "Whoa, what was that?" I said, "Don't worry about that. That's just Joey. Pet squirrel,
Officer Turner asked Adam if Joey would bite.
I said, "Well, he usually doesn't bite, but you never know." because he is a squirrel.
Hours later, with some of his stolen belongings and some unbelievable news.
She said while she was questioning the individual, he had scratches on his hand. So she asked him, "So did you get that from the squirrel?" And he says, "Yeah, damn thing kept attacking me and wouldn't stop until I left."
Now Joey is being hailed.
Oh my God. Home protection squirrel.
Because it's already in default. So the judge should not have been able to order this, but he did anyway, because judges do what they want, they think they're God, and they never suffer any repercussions for their actions. And this is available on Pacer. You can read this for yourself. Defendants, me, are enjoined from making public statements referencing that plaintiff, Paul Saladino, copied, plagiarized, stole, or otherwise improperly used defendants or any other third party's work. So I'm not allowed to say that Paul Saladino copied me. Seems kind of crazy. Engages in dishonest practices in connection with his business, trade, or profession. Abuses prescription or illegal drugs. Improperly or illegally manipulates social media posts. Or engages in any inappropriate sexual activity. So they're basically silencing my freedom of speech, because all of these things that I said, I personally believed were factual.
No, you were deliberately, knowingly, willingly lying maliciously. We all know that.
And then the other stuff is they made me delete some YouTube videos and all this nonsense, but he should not have been allowed to do this. And I can still say things outside of this about Paul Saladino. I can call him evil. I can call him corrupt. I can say he ruined.
Why aren't more people pointing out that Jeffrey Epstein himself is Jewish? Richard. 0.2% of the global population is Jewish. So what are the odds that the person at the center of this child sex trafficking ring just happened to be Jewish? It's not coincidence.
Sure. You're an idiot.
Ruined my life. I can, more importantly, factually reference the things that occurred in this case. So if I showed that letter that he wanted to steal money from disabled people and it occurred in this case, I'm just repeating the case matter. You know, the court record is public. People can see it. If Paul Saladino looks bad by me referencing this case, to me that doesn't seem like it's violating this gag order, which again shouldn't have been issued in the first place, but these judges don't care and the higher court doesn't care yet. An appeal has been filed. I filed multiple personal lawsuits against all the individuals in this case, including the first lawyer that screwed me over, the second lawyer that screwed me over, all of these people that are committing fraud and perjury and all this ridiculous stuff. So again, you know, it's all, how do you put it? You know, they're all in the club and I'm not, and their only goal is to ruin and destroy my life. And who's going to help me? If the people that the public has entrusted to deliver justice are the ones ruining your life, what are you supposed to do? And the answer to that is make it as public as possible and expose these people until they back off. Because no matter what this judge does in this case, this guy doesn't want me talking about this for the rest of his life.
Hello, friends.
Yeah.
My name is JJ, and welcome to my 600th video. Wow. And in honor of this historic milestone, today I thought I would do what I do best and give you a 25-minute summary of the last few months of Canadian politics. So when we last left off, back in May of 2025, Mark Carney had just been elected Prime Minister of Canada. Carney's rise to this country's top job was one of the most remarkable stories in Canadian political history, just because he achieved such tremendous success in such an incredibly short period of time. It's not a stretch to say that little over a year ago, most Canadians had never even heard of him. Carney had been an international banker and bureaucrat for most of his adult life, with jobs that entailed spending many years outside of Canada. His election as Prime Minister
Hate this piece of shit.
was the first political
Man fudge as mungold, man fudge as mungold, man just fudge as mungold, ingest fudge as mungold, man fudge as mungold, chads fudge as mungold, chav fudge as mungold, man the country of chads as mungold, man fudge as mungold, just fudge as mungold, man fudge as mungold.
Yeah. Yeah. What, the thing you said. Thanks for the donation. Might get that. Take a look at the mods they have for that game.
Office he ever sought, and came after he lived most of the last decade in England. What this means in practice is that a lot of Canadians are still basically in the process of getting to know him, and it's probably fair to say that he is still in something of an extended honeymoon period. His personal approval numbers are still very high, and are indeed higher than that of the Liberal Party he leads. Carney was elected in April of 2025 in a campaign that was dominated by anti-Trump and anti-American rhetoric. This was in large part because the Canadian election happened barely 100 days into Donald Trump's second presidency, which had been defined by weird and unprovoked belligerence towards Canada. Shortly after he assumed office, Trump began vowing to impose brutal tariffs on this country and mused about taking it over altogether. In Canadian political culture, the Liberal Party...
Dodo Nutellers, can you fact check her claims here? Let me see.
The second time this petition that has been signed by 2,700 people. Many
anti-war movement, suck my ass. They're all pro-war. They wanted Hamas to attack Israel, so what the fuck are they talking about? They're pro-war. There's some pretty good nude mods for Stellar Blade. They even have like buttholes modeled.
Many of them members of the Sierra Club. I myself am a lifetime member for 40 years. And in the spirit of why the Sierra Club was founded, to protect the earth and to honor the earth and to let it have its dignity and support the life that we all count on. We've been calling on the Sierra Club to understand that the greatest contributor to climate change and the destruction of the earth is war and militarism. And right now, data centers funded by the military budget are being built across the country. That is also at the core of the support mechanisms to ICE and how ICE tracks people. There are 3 copies, so you can give it to the leadership. Thank you very much.
The Sierra Club does critical work and has a lot of influence with its millions of members, a committed base.
After through these.
Who cares? Thanks for the donation, Dodo.
It tends to be the more reliably anti-American and nationalistic of Canada's 2 main parties. After Carney became head of the Liberals in March, he was eager to introduce himself to the country as a prime ministerial candidate willing to make it his defining mission to fight back against Trump and the Americans more generally.
The Americans want our strength. They want our resources. They want our water. They want our land. They want our country. They want our country. They do. Never.
We need to fight Trump's tariffs with counter tariffs of our own that cause maximum damage in the United States with minimum impact here.
He said his conservative opponent, meanwhile, could not be trusted to guard Canadian independence or Canadian values because he was too much like Trump himself. Carney had this whole slogan of elbows up against the Americans.
Canadians are so fucking stupid, dude. Like, democracy just doesn't work because there's too many fucking retards. So we're just voting in a Liberal Party that's going to turn this country into the fucking UK. Just more broke, more retarded, more immigrants. Less jobs, everyone's getting fucking paid less. Oh, and our guns are getting taken away and more crime. It's just great. Like, they're so stupid.
Which is apparently an old-fashioned hockey reference of some sort. Though honestly, a lot of Canadians that I spoke to, even big hockey fans, told me they found it sort of confusing and counterintuitive. Certainly a lot of conservatives were quick to characterize it as liberal cringe at its worst. But the conservatives were also clearly caught flat-footed by the dominance of US-Canada relations in the election campaign, which was not remotely their preferred issue. But Carney spoke it fluently, and he revived his party's lagging poll numbers and won the Liberals a fourth term. During his 9 months in office, Carney has so far been keen to define himself as a prime minister who will lead Canada into a new economic era where our traditional dependence on the United States is lessened, and we instead trade much more with the rest of the world, and indeed, ourselves. I'm sure a lot of you heard about this big speech that Carney gave at the World Economic Forum the other day. He laid out a rather dark vision of a world that was becoming more cutthroat and mercenary, which he heavily implied was largely because the United States had decided to abandon its reliability as a friendly ally and guardian of a predictable, rules-based international order.
We know the old order is not coming back. We shouldn't mourn it. Nostalgia is not a strategy.
The speech impressed.
Who do you hate more, Trudeau or Carney? They're the same. They're not really any different.
And even shocked a lot of the world with its bluntness and eloquence, though it's worth remembering that Carney constantly talks this way all the time about everything.
This decades-long process of an ever closer economic relationship with the United States is now over. We need to keep moving with speed and determination because the upheaval in the global trading system is not a transition, it's a rupture.
Threats from a more dangerous and divided world are unraveling the rules-based international order.
A 60-year period of close cooperation, partnership, job growth, and prosperity. And that era has now ended.
He's particularly fond of this idea that we are in the midst of a new world order.
Sets us up well for the new world order,
in which old alliances and rivalries should be revisited, which I think is a mission that he personally feels quite comfortable with as someone who has lived in all of these different countries and spent so much time networking with international big shots. Carney has made a very large number of overseas trips during his first year as prime minister, including multiple trips to Europe and the Middle East, and a very high-profile visit to China last month. The problem, however, is that these trips do not yet seem to be yielding much in the way of actual deals. The Chinese trip was probably his most fruitful, but even it only concluded with a rather narrow transactional agreement wherein the Chinese agreed to buy more Canadian canola in exchange for the Canadians agreeing to buy more Chinese electric cars. And this seems to be shaping up to be one of Carney's big challenges. A lot of countries just don't care as much about Canada as Carney cares about them. Carney might be keen to offer up Canada as an eager participant in some new, less sentimental global order.
My back is just kind of bothering me. I don't know. I'm thinking of I'll try to stream, but if my back like really starts bothering me, I don't want to agitate it more.
Order seeking to offset American power, but other countries are still going to pursue whatever relationship with America they think makes most sense for them. We saw some of this in the aftermath of his World Economic Forum speech, wherein the leaders of Britain and India, amongst others, insisted that they believed that a close relationship with the US was still very much possible and desirable. But despite it all, maintaining a close relationship with the US theoretically remains one of Carney's main foreign policy objectives too. 2026 is the year that he's supposed to renegotiate the so-called USMCA free trade agreement with the Trump administration, and his government says it's ready and willing to do so. The maintenance of free trade with the US is critical for Canada's economic well-being, but given all of his anti-American rhetoric, Carney will also have to worry about outraging his anti-Trump base if he's seen as giving away too much. But on the other hand, Carney's proven track record of overt American skepticism might also make him uniquely qualified to sell a renewed or even expanded trade deal with the US without inflaming fears of lost Canadian sovereignty. The bigger political concern from all of this stuff, however, is whether Canadians will feel any real-world economic consequences from all of these deals that Carney is or isn't getting. Because at the end of the day, Carney isn't pursuing a robust trade agenda because he likes the way it sounds. He's doing it because he thinks it will actually improve the lives of Canadians in some tangible way, especially in the context of a generally poorly performing Canadian economy. Which leads us to the other part of the agenda that Carney has eagerly been pursuing thus far: building Canada strong. Carney represents a type
yeah, what that means is more Indians.
Of 21st century liberal that I feel has been rising a lot in influence over the last few years. The aggressive YIMBY. These are people who believe that one of the big things that's been holding liberalism back lately is an obsession with regulation and procedure at the expense of economic development, particularly the construction of physical economic infrastructure like roads and mines and power plants and pipelines. As a result, last June, Prime Minister Carney got the Parliament to pass what he clearly intends to be one of his signature pieces of legislation, the Building Canada Act. This statute gives the federal government broad authority to ignore many pieces of Canadian law that are seen as being bureaucratic obstacles to the construction of large-scale infrastructure projects. This includes laws regulating the protection of the environment and wildlife, as well as more general laws prescribing long and complicated procedures for building things like mines and power plants. It's a pretty dramatic piece of legislation that makes the executive branch much more powerful, and the fact that it wasn't considered all that controversial really says something about the growing YIMBY consensus in Canada. Over the next few months, the Carney administration unveiled a list of over a dozen so-called major projects that his government would be using its new powers to fast-track, including a liquefied natural gas plant here in British Columbia, a copper mine in Saskatchewan, a nuclear power plant in Ontario, and a hydroelectric dam in Nunavut. It's an impressive, tangible checklist and a rare example of a politician offering the public a metric through which to measure his own success. Carney can only go so far in actually making these things happen, however. The private corporations contracted to build these projects have to remain confident that there's still a business case to see them through, which has sometimes been a problem in the past. And there are still two realms of potential political opposition that even the most YIMBY prime minister cannot easily override, namely the provincial governments and the indigenous governments of various First Nations. The latter, in particular, I think.
Oh my god, the indigenous tribes, they just get in the way of fucking everything. They should get rid of their special, stupid legal status. It's just a fucking joke.
Is his biggest potential headache, just because, as we learned in JJ video number 598, Carney has been trying really hard to portray himself as the great friend of the Indigenous Canadians and someone who would never, ever ride...
Yeah, how about no? Get rid of their special protected status. It's just horseshit.
...roughshod over their opposition to any unauthorized use of their lands. And I'm not even being sarcastic. I think this is a legit problem that he's boxed himself into, particularly since the Canadian courts have gotten a lot more sympathetic to First Nations litigants these days. So if some of these Native organizations sue to stop the projects...
Yeah, it's hilarious. And Trudeau is responsible for a lot of this shit. Like, the Liberal Party have made it, like, impossible to get any of these infrastructure projects done.
There's a lot of reason to suspect they might be successful. Alrighty, now let us check in on the Conservative Party. How have they been doing since last year's election? Well, under leader Pierre Poilievre, they're in a bit of a difficult pickle. On the one hand, Pierre has been pretty popular and effective as a Conservative leader. He is a politician who is affirmatively quite well-liked by his party and offers a clear and disciplined message about affordability, jobs, taxes, housing, and now increasingly immigration too. A large and loyal donor base means that the Conservatives are now also the richest party in Canadian history. In terms of his share of the popular vote, Pierre is more popular than any Conservative who's run for Prime Minister of Canada in nearly 40 years, and that includes former three-term Prime Minister Stephen Harper. This is a testament to Pierre's success at broadening the appeal of the Conservative Party, particularly in making it the party of preference for young people in Canada, which is a pretty dramatic cultural shift and something that few other Conservative parties elsewhere in the world
That's going to pay off once the boomers die off.
have been able to achieve. The problem, however, is that Pierre is simultaneously very disliked by a majority of Canadians in a way that feels kind of permanent and irresolvable. A lot of people find him shrill and mean and annoying, but to a large extent, this feels inseparable from the degree that they just don't like Conservatives in general. A revealing illustration of this came out in a recent poll where self-identified open-minded voters were asked what Pierre could do to win their votes. Saying he should change his tone was popular, but the most popular response was that he should talk more about...
Isn't that insane? You've got dumbasses who are like, he's mean kind of when he talks. Can you just be like more polite? That's how they decide who to vote for. Whether or not someone's polite. Like, this is why democracy just doesn't work. Just everyone's a chimp.
So-called kitchen table issues. Now, people can hate Pierre for any number of reasons, but I think it is a little bizarre to suggest that he is somehow not talking enough about middle-class economic anxieties, given he very consciously built his whole political brand around that topic.
Prices are rising faster today than they were when Mark Carney took office, promising to lower them. House prices have doubled in gas, heat, and groceries.
The number of Canadians who are just fundamentally not interested in him is kind of immovable, and so he might just be the victim. This is an election. The aftermath of that loss can often be a very divisive time, and yet the Conservatives...
Boomers are gonna die off, everyone's gonna get more broken poor and get fed up with crime. It's only a matter of time. It's only a matter of time.
He from JP Morgan, presumably to protect the privacy of a multi-billion-dollar investment bank that has been a household name for over a century. On top of that, there's the sheer sloppiness of the work. The New York Times and the AP found that the Department of Justice had accidentally released unredacted photos of victims, including some who had never come forward publicly. Once they were informed about their mistake, they pulled those files, but it's a bit rich to hear the government talk about protecting victims while they're busy publishing their private photos to a global audience, while blacking out the names of Epstein's suspected co-conspirators. The law also stated that every redaction had to come with a written justification. So far, those explanations are nowhere to be found. Instead, we still have entire 100-page files that are just solid black blocks. Even for documents held back for national security purposes, the DOJ was supposed to provide unclassified summaries, another requirement that appears to have been filed in the same place they keep the download all button. This doesn't actually feel like a true effort at transparency. As a comment on one of my earlier videos said, "Oh no, they're finding needles, quick, add more hay." Sometimes it can be a struggle to find time to learn new things, but today's sponsor...
Health expert and master of fitness gives advice to his chat regarding going to the gym. Do you think this bearded lady is stronger than you?
Would you guys watch a Charlie Alpha Male
No.
course? If that's not the dumbest thing I've ever heard, you should not be watching Alpha Male courses. It's not a mystery how you can start turning your life around. Eat better, go to the gym, you start feeling better, start making small attainable goals every day. When you're right, you're right. A flash of Super Size Me. It's a good breakfast to start your day. I don't hate it. Do you track calories? No. I'm with you. You can have much more fun. Hype each other up. Lift. I really think that you can't go in with that perception based on, some TikTok losers that are doing degenerate shit. Any beginner fitness channel recs or not really? Oh, I got tons. It just depends on what you want. There are so many good resources for starting a fitness journey now, man. The whole community for that. Obviously, the top is Jeff Nippard. He's by far the biggest there, but everything else can take a backseat. So I'm getting a lot of like Culvers. It depends, like for like dirty bulking, or are you trying to just put on like a 4-star recruit in high school, but he was really scrawny, so a lot of recruiters were afraid that he wasn't going to like actually pan out as like a really good recruit going into college. And his coach said that his plan in order to get muscle on him and weight on him was just feeding him pasta. Or not the coach, the nutritionist or whatever. Pasta is something that's just gonna fucking slap weight on you. You can lose weight eating only pizza, and you can gain weight eating only pizza. It's absolutely right. Calories in, calories out. I just haven't got everything together yet. Is I want to start lab testing all of the supplements that are out there, because I guarantee 99% are scams. Every new protein is legit first. You have a good product to start, you get, or hang is whatever you can imagine.
That was not worth watching. Thanks for the donation, dude.
Brilliant.org makes it easy to learn with quick fun time. Daily access to their entire library. In 2007, Villafana had put together an 82-page prosecution memo and a 53-page draft indictment that would likely have ended Jeffrey Epstein's crimes and abuse. Villafana didn't just focus on the abuse, she followed the money, broadening the investigation to include money laundering and the operation of an unlicensed money-transmitting business. She subpoenaed Epstein's banks for records about his financial activity and even contacted his most important client, the billionaire Les Wexner, to ask about their business arrangements. Bloomberg reports that this sent Epstein into a total tailspin. He fired off a series of typo-laden emails to his lawyers, who began a campaign to have Villafana removed from the case. They argued that her tactics were unduly invasive, that she was pursuing baseless claims to pressure their client into a plea deal, and pressured her supervisors to remove her and others from the case, or throw the case out altogether. The most remarkable part of this story isn't that Epstein tried to stop her, it's that it worked. Despite the prosecutor warning her superiors that Epstein was a continuing threat, she was ordered to stop her investigation and begin plea negotiations. The result was the infamous sweetheart deal overseen by Alex Acosta, which not only gave Epstein a few months in a county jail, but also provided blanket immunity to any potential co-conspirators, essentially turning the US Justice Department into a private security firm for Epstein's entire social network. You might look at this deal and think, well, I guess this happened because he was really politically connected. He was good friends with Bill Clinton at this point in time. He had visited Clinton in the White House, and they'd been jet-setting around the world for close to a decade by then. That doesn't really add up, however. As connected as Epstein was, he wouldn't have been nearly as connected as Dennis Hastert was. Hastert had been a congressman for 20 years and was the 6th longest-serving Speaker of the House in history. By the time FBI discovered that he was a serial child molester, the statute of limitations had run out on his actual crimes. But rather than giving him a sweetheart deal, the DOJ used financial technicalities to put him behind bars in 2015, convicting him for the way he structured his hush money payments to his victims. Political connections don't explain Epstein's sweetheart deal. There had to be something more. If political connections don't explain how Epstein remained untouchable, maybe we should look at his more hands-on approach to reputation management. One of the most famous stories about Epstein involves Vanity Fair editor-in-chief Grayton Carter. In 2003, while reporter Vicky Ward was working on a profile of Epstein and interviewing the Farmer sisters, who had first reported Epstein to the FBI in 1996, Epstein decided to take the editorial process into his own hands. Early one morning, Carter arrived at his office to find Epstein already there, standing alone in the reception area. Epstein reportedly spent that morning and many subsequent phone calls torturing and berating Carter, demanding that he publish nothing about Epstein's involvement with teenage girls. When the verbal abuse didn't work, the threats became more physical. A live bullet was left on Carter's doorstep in Manhattan, and shortly after, the severed head of a dead cat was found in the yard of his country home. While there was no evidence that this was done by Epstein, the message was apparently clear enough that Vanity Fair decided to scrub the abuse allegations from the final article.
Crazy.
While this mob-style intimidation might have worked on a journalist, it's not reasonable to believe that it would have intimidated the FBI, who around the same time were busy conducting the largest mafia takedown in the agency's history. They rounded up 127 members of the 5 mob families in New York. They were hunting down Whitey Bulger, who they believed had been involved in 19 murders. It's hard to believe that the same federal agents who were unfazed by violent killers were somehow terrified of a creepy pedo whose primary method of intimidation was showing up early for a meeting and leaving a dead house pet on a porch. It's not exactly The Godfather. This leads us to another popular theory that people have discussed for years, that Epstein wasn't just a well-connected predator, but an intelligence asset. A journalist named Vicky Ward wrote an article for the Daily Beast in 2019, which said that Alex Acosta told investigators that the case was above his pay grade because Epstein belonged to intelligence, a claim that he has since denied. A newly released document, file EFTA 000900314, gives us a look at why that theory might have had some weight within the FBI. This is an FD 1023, a form that the FBI uses to record information from a confidential human source. According to the Attorney General's guidelines, a CHS is someone believed to be providing useful and credible information, though the FBI notes that these reports are often unverified raw intelligence. This particular source makes some staggering claims. They allege that Alan Dershowitz specifically told Acosta that Epstein belonged to both US and Allied intelligence services. The document goes even further, claiming that Epstein had trained as a spy under former Israeli Prime Minister Ehud Barak. The document doesn't just implicate Epstein either. The source claims that Dershowitz himself was co-opted by Mossad and that Mossad would call Dershowitz to debrief him after his phone calls with Epstein. The document even manages to implicate the White House, alleging that Donald Trump had been compromised by Israel and that Jared Kushner, a former student of Dershowitz's, was the real brains behind the operation. Now, we have to take these claims with a massive grain of salt. One of the strange things about this document is that it refers to previous reports which don't appear to be included in the files. Based on what I can find online, a confidential source can range from a highly placed operative to someone who just enjoys sharing gossip on encrypted messaging apps. But the fact that the FBI was recording these allegations of foreign influence on US officials by Israel, Russia, and the UAE as late as October 2020 shows that the intelligence angle may not have been just a conspiracy theory, but without more information, it's impossible to know. If you're looking for a reason to appreciate your own neighbours, even the ones who practice the drums at 2 a.m, you might want to take a look at Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick's block on the Upper East Side of Manhattan. Jeffrey Epstein lived right next door to him in a massive 7-story townhouse, and Bill Cosby lived right across the road.
Jeez.
Woody Allen lived just 1 street away and was constantly dropping by Epstein's house with his wife/daughter to visit. I imagine that living on a street like that, you'd hire armed guards to bring your kids back and forth to school.
Yeah, really.
Lutnick recently gave an interview on a podcast called Podforce One, describing how he and his wife once visited Epstein's home for a tour around the time he moved into the neighborhood, only to be shown a massage room and hear a comment so revolting that they decided in the 6 to 8...
They found Epstein had land in Mexico the size of a military complex, which they found that Epstein ordered and received 90 gallons of sulfuric acid. Really? The fuck?
Steps it took to get back to their own house, that they would never be in a room with Epstein again. Lutnick forgot to mention in that interview that the prior owner of his house had been Jeffrey Epstein, and that the real estate records show that the transfer was listed for $10 and other valuable consideration. Now, this was back in 1998 when house prices were a lot lower than they are today, and it might have been cheap because of the dodgy neighbours, but it's still a remarkably good deal for a Manhattan townhouse. Howard tells a very compelling story on the podcast of his moral clarity, but the files suggest that this wasn't his last run-in with Epstein. The new documents include emails from 2012 showing Lutnick and his family planning a visit to Epstein's private island on their yacht.
You know what? My lower back is just bothering me too much. I'm gonna just take a break, stretch a little bit, lie down, just let my lower back rest. I think it's from doing the heavy shrugs so often. I think that's just bothering my lower back. But hope you all had fun. Big thanks to everybody who donated on Streamlabs. Really appreciate it. Should be on tomorrow doing the stuff we normally do, though. And who knows, if my back feels better later tonight, maybe I'll stream at like 4 in the morning or something. Who knows? I don't know if I'll do a gaming stream. I'm supposed to be training tomorrow, so we'll probably do a training stream. But we'll see. But thanks again, everybody. I will see you all tomorrow. Sorry I had to cut the stream short. Just my back is just bothering me way too much. But nighty night.